What up, what up? Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric. Every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m., catch us on a Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about all things wrestling, all good things wrestling, of course. So, let's get started. Well, first and foremost, all you fans out there, all you Florida Panther fans out there, congratulations, you have just won the Stanley Cup. So, round of applause. Uh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but round of applause, way to go. It's their first time in franchise history. So honestly, whenever that kind of happens, it's like one of those things where it's like, you know what? You can't help but to like kind of, like tip your hat to them. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't really complain too much. Also, today is National Swim a Lap Day. I had no idea that that was even a thing. So if you have a pool, or if you're going to go to your gym tonight after you get done listening to this badass podcast, go ahead and, do some strokes, bro. Do some strokes and, tag the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. I'm just kidding. Anyways, moving on. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We honestly have the best podcasters in the world. We have a great show for you today lined up. We have our WWE Smackdown review. We're going to talk about our WWE Monday Night Raw preview that's happening right now. It actually airing on the East Coast, but I have not looked at a single shred of Instagram material, TikTok, Facebook, whatever they call it nowadays. I have not watched it. I haven't taped. I can't wait to see it. Obviously, hit up the chat. But if you're going to leave some good spoilers, make sure it's some pretty darn good spoilers in the chat. Would love to kind of hear it. Would love to get into like a little bit of debate. Would love to hear from you guys in terms of potential storylines. In terms of what you guys think is best for WWE. This is a wrestling podcast. The best thing about a wrestling podcast is that wrestling is, yeah, it's sports entertainment, yes, but it's also like, I don't know. I feel like wrestling fans, essentially, I feel like the moment you meet another wrestling fan, you automatically just have that there's no way to there's no way to describe it. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I was at Disneyland. I took my kids to Disneyland, and I was wearing the Seth Rollins shirt, and some guy came out to me. He was like, "Dude, badass shirt." I looked at his shirt. He was wearing the Bullet Club shirt, and I was like, "Dude." Automatically, bam, mutual respect. So, yeah. So, wrestling fans, we're honestly, we're one of a kind. So we're also going to get into our wrestling power rankings. We're going to talk about the men's and women's all around professional wrestling. We're going to talk about the top ten wrestlers in their respective divisions. And today's Monday. We have Memorial Monday. We're going to talk a little bit about my man. We're going to talk about Mike Lockwood. If you don't know him, he's Crash Holly. Crash Holly. Obviously, we're going to talk about that today. But before we move on, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. We get a number of questions from viewers like you that come in during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on air, I ask you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net with your questions. Just put your questions up on top so I can see it. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me some things about professional wrestling that, like I said, I do not want any spoilers, but if there's something out there that happened that it needs to be learned and needs to be told, by all means, do it. Like, let's just do it. You know what I mean? This is wrestling. Don't be too shy. Don't think that if I'm, what do I chat? What do I chat? Oh, is it going to be smart? Is it going to be knowledgeable? Is it going to be something that someone's going to make fun of me? No, no, no. Honestly, this is wrestling. This is professional wrestling. We're going to talk. We're a family. So remember to hit up that GSMC podcast.net. Shoot on your questions, comments, or concerns. So, guys, let's jump on into our first segment. We're going to talk about WWE Smackdown. So WWE Smackdown it was pretty good. It was pretty darn good. Obviously, it started with CM Punk coming out. I love CM Punk. I love the way he kind of came out and he addressed Drew McIntyre, and he also assessed the way, obviously, it was the anniversary, July 17th, 2011, where he walked out, where he told the WWE Universe he wanted to walk out as WWE Champion. Um, and that Drew McIntyre has, kind of, took in his ball and kind of went home, which I kind of get. I kind of like it how, CM Punk kind of made it personal. Later on in the show, you kind of see how that kind of ultimately reflects on that. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Then you saw Paul Heyman come out. Paul Heyman, the ultimate, like, I love Paul Heyman, especially now in this position where he does not want the young bloodline to kind of prosper here without Roman Reigns. So, and Paul Heyman comes out. He said, "Please get the hell out of here." And then CM Punk was like, "What? What are you talking about, man?" And then, of course, lo and behold, you saw the tribal chief. Well, the tribal chief, Solo Sikoa, come out with the Tongans. They came out. And Paul Heyman, he looked CM Punk dead in the eye. He was like, "Take me with you." Like, I was kind of wondering. I was honestly kind of wondering because, in my opinion, I feel like Roman or The Rock aren't going to come back to WWE anytime soon. So I feel like Paul Heyman is going to be kicked out of the Young Bloodline because the only thing that's stopping the Young Bloodline from growing is Paul Heyman. So they obviously want to get rid of him. They get rid of him. He joins CM Punk. Obviously CM Punk was a Paul Heyman guy before. So, definitely think that's like in the midst of the future. If I had to say so myself. And Paul Heyman basically in front of Solo Sikoa, the Tungans, basically said that he wants to quit the bloodline. And I know that might be a little unsettling because, he said it right in front of them. He's like, "You know what? Honestly, take me with you. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. It's not Roman's clan anymore." Roman Reigns said, "CM Punk, do not touch CM Punk. He's untouchable right now. So do not, you don't want to mess with him. You don't want to mess with him. You don't want to start any bad promos. You don't want to create any kind of, bad juju in terms of that." Which is, which is kind of cool. I kind of like how CM, well, how kind of Paul Heyman like keeps that kayfabe, and he just looks. Oh, if you see the look on his face, he honestly looks like he's 1,010% like scared of what's gonna happen next. So definitely got to respect Paul Heyman in terms of that. So, then you saw, of course, Solo Sikoa being called a bootleg. I think he said bootleg. Tribal Chief, and then you saw a bunch of fake Usos, and it got crazy. It got crazy. So Solo Sikoa and the Tungans go up there, and they want to beat the crap out of CM Punk, but out of nowhere comes with the twin baseball bats, Louisville Sluggers. You have the WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes come out making the save, which is I feel like it might be a little too soon in my opinion. I thought it was going to be at least SummerSlam when when this new young bloodline actually challenged Cody Rhodes, but obviously we got a little faster than we anticipated. So yeah, then obviously you saw Cody Rhodes, obviously really frustrated, challenged Solo Sikoa, and kind of wanted him, kind of want to show him be like, "I've beaten one tribal chief before." That was pretty cool. That was honestly, that's why you gotta love Cody Rhodes. A lot of people say that Cody Rhodes is a boring champion because he's more of a chaser than a title holder, but I feel like he's doing it really well. I feel like he's doing really well in WWE. That he is honestly kind of keeping the company afloat after the midst of Roman Reigns after so long. You kind of had Roman Reigns being forced down everybody's throat. Vince McMahon was kind of like, "You know what, love Roman Reigns, love Roman Reigns, love Roman Reigns," and people didn't like it. People hated it. And then the moment like Roman went heel, which was probably one of the best moves he could possibly do within his career. Um, so and then of course after that, after his year and a half, 1,316-day reign as the WWE Undisputed Champion, obviously they had to, prelude. They had to, to unleash the WWE World Heavyweight Championship because no one honestly could touch Roman Reigns besides Cody Rhodes, and it took him two Royal Rumbles to kind of do it. Two Royal Rumbles, two WrestleManias, and a crap load of Bloodline members to, kind of get in his head and kind of, try to make this story, his story, Cody Rhodes' story, something that's worth watching, and that's something that Cody Rhodes did really well. Obviously, you saw the fans go crazy. Once when The Rock was kind of confirmed to take his spot to fill in the head of the table, the fans on social media went nuts, and I think it's for the best. Honestly, I think it's for the best for Roman Reigns. I don't know. I just time only time only time only will tell. I don't think Roman's going to come back anytime soon. Honestly, that's my opinion. I want to see a Survivor Series like Bloodline match. That would be pretty awesome. But in all reality, that's going to take a lot of bookings. And obviously, Survivor Series is in November. So you kind of have, some wiggle room to kind of go along with that. But Survivor Series, and I feel like WrestleMania is going to be like one of the best. It's going to be one of the best. All right, moving on. So you have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in the pot in the back, hitting up a promo. Jade wants a rematch for her tag team titles, but like the look on Bianca Belair's face, like kind of tells it all. She kind of wants to get back into the singles competition. Obviously, she was looking forward to her match with Michin and Chelsea Green, which Chelsea Green ended up stealing it. I honestly really like that for Chelsea Green. Usually when she kind of reminds me of like when Seth Rollins kind of had the case, like you know what I mean. Like although Chelsea Green is not much of an established um an established main Carter in terms of women's wrestling, but I don't know, I just think it's good for her. I think it's honestly, like this is gonna make every women's match on every pay-per-view worth watching, because it'd be like Chelsea Green's gonna come out and she's gonna have that flair that she brings in. So there's no doubt in my mind that if Chelsea Green wins this briefcase, it's gonna be pretty awesome. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Next, we saw Solo Sikoa tell Paul Heyman that he said that he has to do something. Obviously, you kind of saw Drew McIntyre out there attack CM Punk. You also saw the Tungans getting involved in the Kevin Owens, qualifier match. So I'm presuming that's kind of what he meant. Also, on the great, you saw the Grayson Waller effect. Johnny Gargano, once again, he, kind of reiterates to Austin Theory that he's using you, and I honestly feel like this is, a pretty good spot for Austin Theory to finally make it to like a babyface kind of, which I feel like he kind of deserves. He's been in the negative spotlight for too damn long. So, definitely think that DIY is trying to drive a wedge between Waller and Theory. Drew McIntyre backstage with a lifeless CM Punk on his back. He steals his bracelet, and he brings him out to show Chicago. This is this your champion? Kind of, I kind of like that for Drew. I thought that if he quits WWE Raw, he might find his home in SmackDown if Nick Aldis decides to sign him. So that could be something there. Could be something there. Next, we see Randy Orton fight Carmelo Hayes and Tama Tonga. This match was very, very good. Honestly, you kind of saw Randy Orton getting screwed over because, once again, you saw the bloodline get involved. But honestly, I like Carmelo Hayes. Although, Carmelo Hayes he got recently drafted by WWE from WWE NXT. I like it. I like it. Like just his, kind of his persona, just this kind of like in your face kind of mentality. I like that in terms of Carmelo Hayes. So, I think it's a perfect fit for him to be in the Money in the Bank match. The LA Knight addresses the WWE universe that Logan Paul once again does not show up. And then, you see some bad juju going on. And then once again, you see Logan Paul come out making a surprise appearance, which I was kind of proud. I was kind of proud to see Logan Paul go out there and actually, kind of represent his title that he's been fighting for, like basically ever since he made WWE. He said on social media and according to Ringside News that he feels like the United States Championship in WWE does not get defended that much, it more than it should, which is cool. I, you know, I came to that conclusion a long time ago. I, besides the fact that I think that WWE should offer a mid card title for the women's, like a women's intercontinental championship that gets defended, on both brands, like the WWE Women's World Tag Team titles. But Logan Paul's right. Like, why did you have to book Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul at King of the Ring? Why couldn't you have someone like Bobby Lashley fight for the title? I know he was injured, but I'm just kind of using this as an example. So honest, I agree with Logan Paul. I think that the United States Championship in WWE should get defended a lot more. Running out of time, let's move on with this segment. So you saw Kevin Owens, Waller, and also Andrade. Once again, the Bloodline gets involved and attacks Kevin Owens before the match. Andrade moves on, so that's pretty awesome for Andrade. Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa. This match didn't even last more than like 8 minutes. Solo Sikoa. He tells before the match, he basically says that Roman's never coming back to the Bloodline. And obviously, you saw Paul Heyman like completely like in shock, looking like he was gonna cry because that was kind of like his last hope. It was his last hope to like kind of restore order on this, kind of this faction that has gotten a lot of attention, a lot of success, and they're basically watching it burn down. Like so that definitely kind of crazy. Obviously, the Tungans once again interfere. Orton and Owens come out. It looks pretty dire for the Bloodline, but finally, after all this time, you saw Jakob Fatu make his debut in the WWE, and he splashed Cody Rhodes on the announce table. Cody Rhodes, essentially, according to kayfabe, that he has two broken ribs. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be kind of cool to see what kind of goes on, from that. So yeah, we're going to move on to our next segment, which is WWE Monday Night Raw preview. We're going to talk about it all right here. Like I said, I have not seen any shred of social media. So, we're going to dive into this together. So, hey, do not go anywhere.